this is Amy Lamage with Hudson Valley Knits, and thanks for coming back. I am Memers on Ravelry, and that's M-I-M-E-R-S on Ravelry, and I am Memers66 on Twitter and on Instagram. I spend a lot of time on Instagram, and I also have a website, HudsonValleyKnits.com, which hopefully you're seeing this video through, and thanks for joining me. I have so much to talk about. So, 27 days to Rhinebeck. Hello. I'm so excited. I can't wait, and one of the first thing I'm going to talk about is my work in process, singular. I am working on my Rhinebeck sweater exclusively, pretty much, besides, having a pair of socks in my pocketbook, which I've shown you every week. I'm not going to show you today because I've done maybe 2 or 3 rounds, and I'm still not even to the heel flap. So we'll look at that when I've made some significant progress. But pretty much I've been working exclusively on the Rhinebeck sweater because I was really nervous that I would not be able to finish it. I think now I'm pretty sure I'll be able to finish it, but it will require me working exclusively on this sweater. And I'm sorry for the light, but it is a little overcast today, and I don't have good lighting here in my living room, and I think the fact that my living room is yellow doesn't help either. So let's get right to it. So let's look at the Rhinebeck sweater. You've been seeing this every week. And you'll be really proud of the progress I made. So here's the sleeve, the first sleeve. It's almost done, and then I'm sure tonight I'll have cut this other sleeve steek, and I'll be picking up stitches for the other sleeve. So here's a nice close-up, and I kind of measured it, and I seem to be making the row gauge now on the sleeve. So I think this could be the reason I had issues with row gauge before was because I started this sweater in 2009, and I'm sure that my gauge has changed since then. So I was worried the sleeve might be too short because my row gauge was off, but no, it seems to be okay. And I was thinking if I did want to make it a touch longer, I can. There's a different chart for the trim, and it's basically 2 rounds of identical patterning. And if I wanted to make it a little longer, I could just add an additional round of each of the patterns to make the trim on the cuff a little longer. But I don't think I'm going to need to do that. So I'm working diligently, and I am hoping that the next time I record a video for you guys, I might be almost done with another sleeve. That would be very ambitious, but it's possible. It depends on how much knitting time I can get in. Oh, and actually, I might not be recording in exactly a week, since I have plans for next weekend that will keep me occupied for pretty much all day. I'm teaching a Reiki class, so I will not be free at all next weekend. So I might not actually podcast for 2 weeks, in which case I would definitely have the second sleeve done, and I'm going to cut open the front steek so I can try it on and see. I like the sleeve length, so maybe I'll do that tonight. This is actually the back. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll cut open the front steek just to be able to put my arm through the sleeve and see how it fits. So again, here is my sleeve. Isn't it so beautiful? I mean, this is so rewarding. I've done a Philosopher Wool Color Your Own sweater, and if you haven't heard about them, it's worth checking out their website. And basically you just kind of knit a tube, and then you sew with a sewing machine around the arms and pick up and do the arms, and it's with a worsted weight wool, and it's their own wool, and it's minimally processed, so it's environmentally friendly, and it also saves them money, so more money can go to the fiber providers. It's so I do recommend it, but this is my first true Fair Isle sweater. And it has shaping, it has numerous steeks, it has, I'm doing the floats this time, whereas philosophers will, their directions, and you kind of weave in the back, you weave all the floats, there's no floats. So it's different, and so I consider this my first true Fair Isle sweater, and I haven't knit a lot of sweaters, period. I mean, I've knit some Icelandic yoke sweaters, but this is different. There's shaping in this, so it's a good test for me, and it was a challenging piece, and it's very rewarding, and that's kind of what I think of a Rhinebeck sweater should be, something that challenges you, something that you're going to really pay attention to details, and my goal was to execute it very meticulously. So, and that's what I did, or at least what I tried to do. So that's the Rhinebeck sweater, and that's, like I said, the only work in process that I am putting any time into right now. So it's the only one I'm going to show you. The big thing today is I wanted to talk about, I've been buying a lot of stuff, and I actually justifying it because I did a big destash thread on the Ravelry group for Yarn Destash, and it was very successful, and I sold a lot of beautiful yarn to people that were very excited about it, and I gave them great deals. I felt some things I asked for half of what I paid for it, so, and I know I was able to give away, sell a sweater's worth of beautiful yarn to someone for about a little more than half of what I paid for it, which I know saved them a lot of money, and it made me very happy because she was so excited about it. But so this gave me a little spending money, and I did spend. Alright, so let's talk about my acquisitions. First off, this one didn't cost me anything but a trade. I found there was someone that I did put on my thread that I'd be willing to trade for fiber, because I am trying to get a variety of fibers to spin up. And so I traded some of my Spirit Trail Fiberwork Decima, which is a lace weight, which I've decided I'm just not interested in knitting with lace weights right now because I don't enjoy it. I don't find it easy, and all my lace weight, I still have some more lace weight for sale. If you want to check out Memers, check out my for sale page. So I did make a trade with someone for 4 ounces of fiber for 2 skeins of Decima, and one of them is Spirit Trail Fiberworks. This Spirit Trail Fiberworks, and it is Targhee Top. Let me read that. Cherry Tree. And if you look at this, this is the date. This is the batch code, but it's also the date. This is from, it says 10/9/02. And if this is in line with how she creates batch numbers, or color lots rather, this was made, this is old, so this has been around a while, and I am very anxious to try and spin this up. I'm not familiar with Targhee. I'll look it up in my little reference book, find out more about the fiber and how it's best to spin it, and I'm really looking forward to spinning this. I love Spirit Trail Fiberworks. She's one of my favorite vendors. Jen, her name is, and she's going to be at Rhinebeck, and I know she uses only the best materials. So that's the one item I got in the trade. The other item was this. This is merino top. There's no brand name on it. She didn't provide me one, but I thought it looked really pretty. I liked the colors. There's blues and browns and yellows, and there's actually a hint of green. Kind of see it there, right there. And it's very soft. She said it's merino, but there's no labeling on it. I don't know what brand of fiber it is, who the dyer was, or anything like that. It just, she sent me a picture, and it looked beautiful, and I said, I'll take that. And I haven't spun with merino yet, so this will be a new fiber for me to spin. And again, I'm looking forward to this. I don't think it would be right away, but yeah, definitely be doing this one. So that was my wonderful trade acquisitions. And then I also got my last club yarn for the Spirit Trail Fiberwork Yarn Club. It's Suna, which I love, and as if you know, and that's a pretty good rendition of the color. It's orangey red, and I think you could compare it to a blood orange. So if you there's some really strong. It looks kind of pink there, but it actually looks truer if I hold it back. It's a little more orange than what you're seeing. It's gorgeous. I love it. I was thinking about ordering another skein, and I don't know. I shouldn't buy more yarn, but it's gorgeous. It's such a unique color. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's hard to say if it's red or orange, and I love that about it. And it's just nice and different. And I love Suna. It's one of my favorite yarns. She has extra skeins. There are some people that weren't happy with the color and are selling it. So, oh my gosh. It would be less money to send it right back. I don't know. We'll see. It's up in the air, but probably not. I'll knit a pair of socks with it and be done with it. But if I get another skein, I could knit a beautiful shawl with it. Anyway, so that's that. The other thing I want to talk to you about is, I don't know if you took advantage of this, but Craftsy had up to 75% off sale to celebrate 2 million members. And you know I'm a big Craftsy fan. I love Craftsy. They are awesome, but they also supply a lot of yarns, and it's kind of limited in its variety. They have a lot of different stuff, but it's not like you get to choose from a lot of different colors. So I think they get certain yarns at discounts. I'm just guessing here, I'm speculating. Or they have certain yarns that you can purchase that go with their classes, which is really helpful. Like for the spindling class I took, I ordered their spindling kit, and it was, perfect for the kit. So they announced a sale, and I went and I just took a look, and I found a yarn that is normally $20 a skein, and it was, I forget how much I paid for it. I don't know. It was a deep discount. It's the Cascade Ecological Wool. So these babies, I've been wanting to make a blanket with them, and I had some in my stash. I have some. These are the colors I had in my stash already. And this is a gorgeous blue, bright blue with hints of green. And this, I guess, is an oatmeal, and I don't have the tags, so I don't even remember what color they are. That's my neighbor showing one of the feral cats. What I wanted to make is, and let me show you the picture. Rosemary Hill in last year's Shawl Club put out, and this is Home is Where the Heart Is Shawl Club from 2012 or 13, earlier this year. But anyway, here's the shawl. Now, Rami, on her blog, isn't it gorgeous? I made the shawl already, and I gave it to my mother-in-law. What Rami did, and you can see this on her blog, is she she had some ecological wool in her stash, and she started knitting it up as a pie shawl, but with the ecological wool at a heavy gauge, and made a very substantial. She didn't finish hers. Other people finished theirs. Made a lap blanket. and I loved it so much. And I'm like, I want that on my couch. And I had a few skeins, and I just has never had the money to really go ahead and buy. I had to buy like 5 or 6 more skeins to really make a nice size blanket. So I decided to take advantage of the sale. I got a cream. I got this, is a little darker. And I got this, so which is a little darker. I really wanted to do subtle changes, and this will be the background of the blanket. And then this will be the color. If you look at the, excuse me, sorry. If you look at the pattern, you see how the orange kind of just gets picked and carried up as you go, and then ends up, that's what I'm going to use the color for. And then the trim at the bottom, which in the shawl is part of the, you can see the trim there. It's the same orange that gets carried up. That I'm going to do in the darkest ecological natural shade. So, because I only have 1 skein of this. And I really didn't want to buy another color skein. So I want to make do with what I have now. And that's what I plan to do with this. This I'll start after Rhinebeck, after I finish the Rhinebeck sweater, and it will just kind of be something, no deadline. It's going to be nice, relaxed knitting. It's going to be no pressure project, and maybe I'll just leave it by the couch, and whenever I'm sitting on the couch, I can pick it up and knit around, and when it's done kind of thing. That's the kind of knitting I enjoy. No pressure, no promises to anybody, and when it's done, it's done. So that's the one thing. And I also got a soak bin, the soap, the wool soap. They had for sale a bin for soaking and some soap. I got that because it was an excellent, excellent price. I think today's the last day, so probably by the time you listen to this, it'll be too late. Which is too bad because it was a great sale, and I actually had other stuff in my cart and I ended up taking it out because it was such a great price, but I'm like, I don't need this right now. I'm going to Rhinebeck. I can buy yarn there. I can't be doing this. So it didn't have a purpose. It went out. So all I got was the ecological. And then, so that was the Craftsy sale. Okay. Recently, Tina from Knitting Blooms has announced that she will be doing a knit-along / spin-along / crochet-along in November in conjunction with North Cabin Fiber Crafts, excuse me. And here is, oh, is the website on there? The website's not on there. The website is northcabinfibercraft.etsy.com. I don't know if you can see that. Try and make it flatter. Sorry. See that? And you could get the information at the in the Knitting Blooms Ravelry group. She has a thread, and it has a link, and there's a 10% off coupon. Which is what I think it's Knitting Blooms 2013 or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's in the thread. If you want to do it, take advantage of the coupon. I got 2 tops, 4 ounces of Shetland wool, and the colorway is Storm Clouds. And I love gray blues. I love these dreary blue colors. I don't know why. I think it reminds me of the Hudson River, and it's murky gray-blue coloring. But this is Shetland. I'm knitting my sweater with Shetland. I like the way it's sticky, and maybe I'll even buy some more and do some 2-color gloves with it or something like that. This might be a little too scratchy for some people, but I don't mind it at all. I love Shetland wool, and wool doesn't itch me. The itch factor for me is very minimal, so I really don't care. But I also wanted to get a nice soft fiber, And this way, if I have time, maybe I can do 2 entries for the knit along, because she had some great prizes. One of them being for a huge project bag. It's like it's like a project bag to put all your project bags in, right? But it was really pretty, and she has them actually for sale if you want to buy one. You don't want to wait for the knit along and the prizes. And but basically, I got this is called the colorway called Little Mice. It's 100% superwash merino, 4 ounces. And I liked the colors. So usually I'm not a pink person, but I have plenty of, I won't wear it, but I like the color. It's got grays and pinks, and and a little bit of brown here too. So I really like that. It's kind of brown there. Let's see. And I will go to the Craftsy class about spinning colored fibers, and I'll figure out how I want to spin this up. And merino will be new for me, so I could even use this for that new to use spin along, if I really wanted to. So that's it. Oh, I had said last week that I was going to go to Hanson Crafts and get a new Woolly Wander spindle. I ended up ordering it online. I had that money in my PayPal account from all the sales I made on Ravelry, and I decided that I'll order it now so that I don't have to pay the New York State tax when they come to Rhinebeck. It would probably have been a little more for the tax than it was for the shipping. And I got it super quick, so now I don't have to wait till October, because I needed a third bobbin to apply with. It just wasn't working with the 2. So I got that, and I ordered from the Woolery a Lazy Kate, because the shoebox thing's a pain. So I got those 2 things with the money I got from selling some of my stash. And that's definitely it with the purchases. So now what I wanted to talk to you about is last night, or yesterday sometime, Isalda Teague posted on her blog about her Rhinebeck sweater and a pre-order, if you want to pre-order and pick it up in Rhinebeck. And I was super excited. I watched her video that she did. She had done a live video. I wasn't able to watch it live, but I definitely watched it after she put the recorded version online, because I love her stuff. I love Isalda. She's such a talented woman. She's so creative. She's just, she's got a beautiful spirit, and I really have always been pleased with everything I've purchased from her. I have all the whimsical little knits. I have the book Sunday Treat, I think it's called, that she made for the Fiber Spate yarns. I haven't knit anything from that yet, but I plan to. And most of the stuff I make, her stuff tends to be a little young, but there's stuff for older women that appeals to me as an older woman anyway. And there's stuff that I made, and you can see it in my queue, that for my daughter I made the fingerless gloves, and as a gift to at a baby shower for the mother, I made a damson shawl. So I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I haven't made I have her Little Red in the City book, which is full of so much good information. I haven't made a sweater using that book yet, but I definitely will. So when I looked at the little lookbook that she posted online for the Rhinebeck Sweater book, and I looked through the patterns in there, the patterns are gorgeous. They're great patterns. I can safely say that most of the designers in there I already love. But when I looked through it, I really only saw 2 sweaters that I would probably definitely knit. And so I wanted to show you it, in case you haven't seen it. You really should go take a peek, but let me show you. Where is it? Oh no, wait a minute. I think it's Here? Okay. So I have it up on my iPad. I really love Mary Jane Mucklestones, and I love Fair Isle. You can kind of see it here, but I honestly said to myself, I would probably not knit it. There's other kind of jacket kind of sweaters like that I would want to knit. I also didn't. I would prefer a neckline, and I suppose I could change it, but you can see it's a deep V. If I'm gonna make a sweater out of warm wool like that and Fair Isle it, I want something that's gonna cover my chest. So while I loved it, I definitely wouldn't have made it because of that V-neck, and I don't want to be troubled with changing the pattern up because there's just other patterns there that I could definitely knit. And I liked Mary Heather's, but again, it just wasn't, it didn't have like the super appeal to me, but I thought it was really cute and beautiful. I liked her, she has a little color work on the sleeves too. If you can see that cuff right there. So it was really well done, and I'm not sure if that neckline, that gap there, if you look, I'm not sure if that was intentional or if she just knit the sweater too tight and didn't get the right gauge or something, or if it wasn't fitting right, or if you're supposed to have like a little keyhole there, but I don't know, I just noticed that. You could always, that's not a big deal, you would just make sure you knit yours right. I really liked this, and Thea Coleman, and I haven't heard of that designer. I liked this fisherman type sweater too, but I could easily kind of design my own fisherman sweater, and I actually have. I have one in process. Then I picked the patterns myself for, so I wouldn't use that one. I also have some other patterns already in my stash. The one sweater that I would really love to knit is the one Isolde designs. It's very unique, and there's a lot of unique features about it that would say to me it's different than anything else I have in my pattern library. I love that it has pockets. It has a unique, you can see the pockets there too. See? What does it say here? Yeah, see, she's got her hand all the way in the pockets. I love that. I love how it's a little longer in the front than in the back. I like the little collar. I like that you can wrap it around yourself. I like everything about it. But I couldn't justify spending $40 for one sweater. But I really, really love that sweater. I would make her sleeves longer because I like the long sleeves. I like her yarn choice. I like her color choice. I like the back with the, and you can't, there's not, I'm trying to see if there's a picture of the back. There's not a picture in the back, but it has some lace detail in the back, you can tell. This one again is very nice. I would probably make it longer. I like the type of collar, but it looked a little tight. I would probably make the collar a little bigger, a little more overlapping. It looks a bit stretched out, but it's nice. And that's Pamela Wynne, W-Y-N-N-E. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That's a really nice one. I don't think I would make it, but I really liked it a lot. Here's one that I didn't really care for. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't want to talk bad about it, but so I'll skip it. I liked Laura Nelkin's. Hers was definitely unique and different, but because I am, sorry about that, that was a little wobbly. If you look at this picture here, right there, you see how the cables go around the bust area? I think that's basically a showstopper for me. My busts don't need any extra attention, so I think that that style would just draw attention to my huge breasts, and I don't want that. Otherwise, I liked it. I also would have liked some kind of collar shaping because, according to Amy Herzog, that would be appropriate for me with my body type. So, and I can't see because of that design how you could do that. But I loved. Look at how she did the sleeves there. See how they kind of turn into a glove, or you can take your thumb out and not wear it like that? I loved that. I loved her yarn color. I loved her yarn. I love that design. I really love it, but I just don't think it would look good on me. Maybe my daughter might like that, though. Nice. Very nice. Different. That's what I wanted. Something unique and different. And then, alright, here's the other one that I said. I said there were two in the book that I would probably make. Here's the other one. Amy Herzog's. I really like Amy's design. She's so spot on. So, it's very simple. It has a little texture to it, which you can't really see here, so you should go to the lookbook and check it out. So why wouldn't I make it, why did I not get the book for this one too, is because I have her Fit to Flatter book, and she has similar styles in that book that I could make, and even add like some interesting texture to with some stitch patterns. So as much as I wanted to get this book, it just wasn't a fit for me, and I ended up deciding not to order Isolde's book. But like I said, the sweaters in there are beautiful. You should definitely check it out because it might be a real big hit for you. And I know Isolde from the other publications of hers that she's put out will definitely give you a high quality project, a very well done book, very well laid out. Pictures will be beautiful and plenty of them. The instructions will be very explicit and well written, and I can't say enough good things about my past experience with Isolde books and patterns. So definitely go to her blog and check out the lookbook, and if you're not going to Rhinebeck, you might keep an eye out for when you can pre-order it, because I'm sure you will not be disappointed. As long as there's enough sweaters, I would say if there's 4 sweaters in there that you're pretty confident you will make, it's more than worth your money. But I couldn't justify that this time. Maybe I'll see it at Rhinebeck and change my mind, and that's okay. But for now, I'm gonna pass on. That's the first time I think I've ever said I would pass on an Isolde publication. So lastly, I know I'm over 30 minutes, but I wanted to talk about, since I didn't have a lot to show you of work in process, I did want to show you what I got in my queue. So every week I look through what's new in the patterns, or what my friends or on Ravelry are putting in their queue or hearting, putting a heart next to, saying they love it. And I put a lot in my queue every week, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about the new stuff coming out, and what I've added to my queue. And I also wanted to share with you, as far as my queue goes, I just recently cleaned it out a little, and I highly recommend this. I went through my whole list. I reordered things, like, you know what, originally I might have had further up in my queue, and I'm like, I don't, that's not a priority anymore, and I'll put it further down. Or like the Carson blanket I told you I found this yarn for. It was at the bottom of my queue because I didn't know when she was coming out with the pattern, and I didn't have enough yarn for it, but now I have it, so I put it up at number 2 because I will cast on as soon as I'm done with the Rhinebeck Sweater. So things like that. I took a lot of my patterns that have been there, and I assigned yarn to them, so I know exactly what yarn I'm going to use for them, which is very helpful as well. It helps me feel organized and that my stash has a purpose. I also made some pattern acquisitions, and one of the first thing I want to talk to you about is I purchased, there was a Tin Can Knits did I'm going to my library, so bear with me. Tin Can Knits had a sale. They had a sale, buy one get one free. And you could buy a pattern and get one free, or you could buy a book and get one free. And I'm not sure if that might still be going. There's a coupon code. So check her website or her pattern page and get some more information on that, because I ended up purchasing her ebook, Pacific Knits and Handmade in the UK. And there's a bunch of patterns in there I know I'm going to make. And one of them that I put high up in my queue, because I have what I need to start it pretty much right away, is the Vivid blanket. Let me find that. Hold on. Bear with, I'm looking at my iPad for it. Let me go to my queue. Alright, so, alright, here we go. So the first thing in my queue, as you can see, is the herbaceous socks, and that's for the dynamic dual knit along. And after I finish these socks that I have in my bag now, I'll start those. And I also have the Rami blanket, you know, the Carson blanket. But here is the Vivid blanket, and I have some Jameson DK. Come on. I have some Jameson DK in my stash of some beautiful colors that I was originally going to make a Fair Isle jacket with. And I'm going to use that. And if I have to buy more, I'll buy one here, buy one there, so be it. It'll be great. I want a nice, colorful blanket, Afghan that I can put down here in my living room. You can see my couch is brown and my walls are a bright yellow. But pretty much that's all the color I have down here, and I think those colors I have in the Jameson DK would be a really good accent down here. So that is the first thing I added to my queue from there. I also put in my queue from there the windswept cardigan, and it's a beautiful cardigan with some lace details. Let me get that up for you. And I love the lace detail in the front. I wouldn't make this. This would be something I might make for my daughter. I have to run it by her and get a feel. I don't want to make her something she doesn't like, but I'm quite confident she would love this sweater. It's kind of her style, so I put that in there. Winding Way socks, another pair of socks that were in the Handmade in the UK book. I really loved the twisted stitch pattern there. I really like that pattern, so I'm going to put that in my queue. And that's it for Toucan Knits. I also put in my queue, let me go back to the first page. Actually, let me show you a couple, one more, Pacific Knits. I forgot to do that. In Pacific Knits, there were a few really, really cute things, and this is going to be somebody's Christmas present. This cowl here is gorgeous. This is a better picture. Look at that. I have some Debbie Bliss Cashmerino bulky weight yarn that would be perfect for this, and that's stash busting in my book. So that's great. I also, even though I don't have a baby to knit these for, I could make these for my grandchildren that I don't have yet. I love them. Look at those boots. I could use the Jameson's DK for this as well, and make baby boots for my grandchildren that I don't have yet, because my kids aren't even married yet. And I loved this hat and glove set, and I would make one for myself. Here's a better picture. Not sure what yarn, maybe some of my beautiful club yarn from Spirit Trail Fiberwork would make a beautiful hat and mitten set, and I really, really like that a lot. So that's definitely on the list. What kind of yarn does that call for? Let's see. It calls for a worsted weight. Calls for Malabrigo worsted. I'll have to dig through my stash. I think I have some Berta or some Holda that would be really good, or Brigitte. Oh, that would be perfect. Oh, I'm brilliant. Okay, see how I'm doing it? This is great. I also want to show you that I bought the Colors of Shetland ebook by Kate Davies, who's like up there as one of my most favorite designers. I love her traditional sense of style, but I can't say enough good things about Kate Davies. I love her writing. I love her blogs. I love when she blogs from It Is I, Bert. That's her dog. She's just amazing. You should follow her blog. She's got a sense of humor. She's a beautiful writer, a beautiful photographer. Her pictures are just amazing, and she's an absolutely amazing designer. And I want to make this sweater for next year's Rhinebeck Sweater. I think this will be the one. I'm quite certain. I will probably, after Rhinebeck, have to wait to order the yarn, but that'll be okay, because I have a couple of things. Like I said, I'm going to, and maybe I'll talk about it next week, I'm going to make a project plan for next year for my knitting. Alright? Because I do have people that I have to knit things for. Alright, so then I just want to show you one more, because I found something that I thought would be, that my son would like, and that I could use the brown homespun that I showed you, I think last week or the week before. I think it would go very well. It's not as soft as the yarn that Steve May used, which is it's definitely a Skakel yarn, because he did this for the Fiber Factor challenge. It's Hiku by Skakel collection, Kenzie yarn. Which is it looks very soft and fluffy, which my homespun is not. But I think the pattern is free, and I think it would be, I think my yarn would look very good in it. It's a dark brown, which I know my son has always said if I knit him anything, it has to be brown or black. Can't be super fancy. But I think he'll like this. And, you know, he lives in New York City. He walks around a lot. And it's cold down there in the winter, so this would be great to wrap around his face and keep his face warm. So that's what I did for Joe. Or I might try and get this done for Christmas, we'll see. And that is all I have on the list to talk about. And boy, did I go over my half hour. So, but that's okay. I had a lot to talk about. It was really fun to talk with you about my queue and share with you all my acquisitions, most of which I didn't have to really pay out of my paycheck for, because I did that D-stash. And this is all paid for with money from the D-stash, which is great. And everybody else got the yarn. And like I said, there's more stuff, so if you feel so inclined, I would really appreciate you just taking a look and seeing if there's anything there that you might like. And now I am going to say goodbye, and I am going to put my stuff away and start knitting on my Rhinebeck sweater. Thank you. Bye, everyone.